Hey guys, James Wolf here, and today's a new Nancy Drew game for the series. I almost said another episode, but yeah, it's a new game for the Nancy Drew series on this channel. This one is The Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, number 13 in the series. The last one, the previous episode was number 12. Secret of the O'Clock. Jesus, I don't know why I drew a blank there. But, oh yeah, and I'm apologizing in this episode, and I will apologize in the description of that episode. My computer had just updated. My computer has just updated, like an hour before I recorded that. So, it reset all my sound settings, which I fucking hate. But, I'm not gonna argue with this shit, so I'm working through it.
Welcome to my latest case, Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. As always, your mission is to solve when you're in the center of a room.
Sorry, wrong one. Yes,
Welcome to my latest case. Dear Hannah, here I am at the railroad station along with a handful of other detectives about to board a train bound for who knows where. The only person who knows where we're going is Lori Gerard. That's the young woman who invited everyone. Actually, she didn't really invite me. She invited Frank and Joe Hardy, and they invited me. And I've always wanted to join forces with the Hardy Boys. I just hope this doesn't turn out to be another one of Lori's silly attempts to grab publicity. Some people can be a little too rich and a little too famous for their own good.
All aboard!
Wish me luck. Love, Nancy.
Well, people, now that our little orientation tour is over, let's get started. Okay, I, again, am Lori Gerard, and the first thing I want to do is thank you all for coming. John Gray. I am so thrilled that you're taking time out from that TV show of yours to do some ghost hunting here with us. I mean, Ghost Chasers is like the best cable show ever.
Oh my God.
And Charlena Purcell. I cannot tell you how much I adore those romance novels you write. Your characters just seem so real. And all that stuff you know about the Old West, you are just awesome. And Tino Balducci. Only the most famous police detective in the country. And then there's Frank and Joe Hardy. They're amateur detectives. My dad and their dad are old friends. And you must be the other amateur detective, their friend? Natalie?
Nancy Drew?
Whatever. All right, I'll bet you're wondering where we're going. Well, we're going to Copper Gorge, Colorado. Why? To solve the mystery of what happened to Jake Hurley, the man who originally owned this train. Because see, one day in 1903, this train was found in a place called Blue Moon Canyon, which was out in the middle of the Nevada desert. Only the engineer was on board, and he was dead. As for Jake Hurley, he had disappeared from the face of the earth. Oh, and two more things. Before he disappeared, Jake was rumored to have found the richest gold mine in the world. And the train he owned, this train, his wife Camille died on it while they were going to the gold fields. It was rumored to be haunted.
She's gone.
Oh my gosh.
What in the world?
Hey, what's going on?
People should never go tampering with things they don't understand.
Oh, brother.
It's okay. Everybody just stay calm. No need to panic. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Well, Nancy, you're up on all that social etiquette stuff. What are you supposed to do when your hostess vanishes into thin air?
Sit down, shut up, and enjoy the train ride.
If I don't seem concerned, it's because I'm not. Lori Gerard is a young woman whose only goal in life is to be famous. She craves attention and habitually uses her father's considerable wealth to get it.
How well do you know her?
I don't really know her, I just know of her. The only reason I accepted her invitation was because I've come across the name Jake Hurley several times in my research, and this seemed like a good opportunity to learn more about him. What was your name again?
Nancy Drew. You and I have actually met. Sort of. I called you not too long ago when I was at Shadow Ranch. You gave me some information about Dirk Valentine.
Ah, Nancy Drew.
You don't remember me, do you?
No.
What else do you know about Jake Hurley?
Psst, Nancy! Come here!
Excuse me for a second. Is this Jake and his wife?
Yes. From what I've read, Camille loved to sing and dance, even in death, apparently. Jake reportedly told people that after she died, he would sometimes see strange glowing lights outside the windows at night, bobbing gracefully alongside the train as if dancing with it. He said he found the sight very comforting. I suspect normal people would have found it terrifying.
Hey, Nance.
Where have you two been?
I followed Tino Balducci.
And I went after John Gray. He went straight to the room in the car that used to be Camille's and didn't come out again. I could hear all these weird noises coming from inside.
Any idea what he was doing?
I was just about to go in, but the next thing I know, Joe's got my arm in a vice grip and is dragging me back here, babbling about how Balducci's our guy.
He found something on the floor right where Laurie was standing when the train went dark. I saw him pick it up and put it in his pocket. Then he left.
Did you see what it was?
When I tried to talk to him, he just kind of brushed me aside and said something snotty like, "I'm on the job here, Junior, so just go back to the playground and stay out of the way." In case you two hadn't noticed, we're not getting a lot of respect around here. Can't we at least tell Balducci that we do stuff for ATAC?
You know the rules.
ATAC?
American Teens Against Crime. We do a lot of undercover work for them.
Wonder Cop's probably never even been undercover.
Joe, let it go. What'd Charlena have to say?
She thinks Laurie is faking this whole disappearance thing.
She's not the only one.
How can you say that? You heard Laurie scream.
Anybody can scream, Joe. Especially girls whose fathers have given them acting lessons along with everything else they've ever wanted.
What about you, Nancy? What do you think?
I kind of agree with Frank.
You've got to be kidding.
Nope.
See you soon.
If you need anything, just let us know.
I will.
Engineer, what do you want?
Hello, I'm one of the passengers, and I just thought you should know that Laurie Gerard has disappeared.
So?
Did you know she was going to disappear?
Hey, all I know is I take orders from Miss Gerard, okay? Right now my orders are to get this train to Copper Gorge non-stop. And until Miss Gerard tells me otherwise, that's what I'm gonna do.
Shouldn't you at least call the authorities?
It'll be my pleasure, just as soon as Miss Gerard orders me to.
But...
Now, if you'll excuse me, I got me a train to run.
Okay, cool.
A square and a duck. It looks like this thing opens up. But how? Looks like some sort of steam valve.
I'm gonna do the first episode. Like I originally was gonna do 3 episodes without a walkthrough, but just the first.
Sadie Crawford.
Two left feet. I love that. It's funny. But I was originally gonna do 3 episodes.
Pretty. Looks like some kind of gemstone.
I was originally gonna do 3 episodes without corner piece, little piece, corner piece, that piece. Sorry, I'm scratching my arm here. Okay, I don't have something right here. No. No, that's right. Jesus. Wait a minute, there's a picture up there. Why am I not using the picture that's up there? Okay.
Left pickaxe and lamp with buhl for safekeeping. To open what's closed, lead is the key. Or is it lead is the key? This must have been the sleeping car.
I would love an old train. I could never afford to buy, run, or maintain an old train. But
I need 4 numbers to unlock this, and there's, what, 10,000 possible combinations? Guessing could take me a while.
John Gray, okay.
Hey, come on over here. Hi, you're that Nancy person. How you doing? John Gray.
You look pretty busy.
Right now I'm taking time-lapse electromagnetic readings and recording background noise. This was Camille's private car. If she had something to do with Lori's disappearance, analyzing these readings may give me a clue as to Lori's whereabouts.
Do you really think that a moving train can be haunted?
Sure. A train is basically nothing but a living space on wheels. And just like a house or a hotel, its walls can capture and hold energy, however infinitesimal, whatever its source. You see, what to most people are ghosts are actually temporary distortions in local electromagnetic fields caused by the presence of residual psychic energy generated by the person or persons who frequented that particular locale. That's my working theory, at least.
That's very interesting.
It's all very scientific. But the fact is, Lori's missing, and I, for one, am doing everything in my power to find her. The vibes I'm getting make me think she could be in serious trouble.
Charlena Purcell thinks Lori is just playing some kind of joke on us.
Charlena Purcell writes romance novels. End of comment.
I'll let you get back to work.
Come back anytime.
This looks like some sort of game. Nothing happens. I'll bet I have to wind it up first. I did it! Wonder what's in here.
Game Town Vices. Sheet music, let's see. Sheet music.
The Little Book of Samplers. Teddy Eberhardt.
Crowmeister Dollworks. Jesus, Crowmeister's got his finger in everything.
If I had some music, I could play a tune.
Don't do that, please. Those microphones I set up over there are very sensitive. You just about took out my eardrums. You can play that thing when I'm done. I'll let you know when that is, all right?
Okay. It's locked. Thomasina O'Neill. Looks like Camille was teaching herself how to play the piano. I wonder what's under here, and what the deal is with those weird-looking bolts. Looks like I need a special tool. Hello?
Nancy, hi, it's me.
Hi, Bess.
And me.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up? You're the one who's on the train with a bunch of famous people. You tell us. This is torture, Nancy. I'm dying of curiosity here. Bess, just calm down. Oh, like you're not just as curious as I am. She's the one who insisted we call you Nancy. Only because you're driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be helping her paint her room, but every other brushstroke she's like, where do you think she is now? How do you think the Hardy Boys are doing? Why do you think she hasn't called? What do you think Laurie Gerard is wearing? Oh, George, that is so not true. I could care less what Laurie Gerard is wearing. So come on, Nancy. You're on a train full of famous people bound for who knows where. So dish already, would ya? Bess, calm down. Look what you did. You got paint in my hair. I'm sorry. You know, actually, that looks kind of cool. Nice try, Bess. No, really. You're just saying that because you're afraid I'll bail and you'll wind up having to paint this dump all by yourself. George, I kid you not. You should seriously think about doing some major highlights in that color.
What color is it?
Adobe beige.
Nice try, Bess.
What's going on, Nan?
Who the fuck paints a room Adobe
Catch you later.
beige?
Remember, when in doubt, call.
I will call you. Quiet is requested for the whatever of those benefit of those in the car. I'm wondering if this is how they found the train. This is...
Hey, Nancy, right?
You've got a better memory than our hostess.
Who doesn't? Amateur detective, huh? Ever thought about becoming a real detective? You know, like me?
I don't know. Do you like what you do?
I love it. You, heard about those bank robberies I solved, right?
Tino, you're a fraud. But tell me about them.
Tell me about them.
Baffling case. Two-man team at 17 banks in 3 states in 5 days. FBI had no idea who the perps were. But after forcing their vehicle to a stop, confronting them, despite the fact that they were armed and giving chase, I single-handedly made the collar.
I heard they stopped because you accidentally rear-ended them.
You heard wrong. You see, Nancy, when somebody does something really remarkable in this country, the first thing everybody else does is try to tear them down. Reporters, late-night comedians, even some of my fellow officers.
Good.
All have been spreading vicious lies about me. Why? Because they've never done anything remarkable in their sorry little lives, and they're jealous. Anyway, you should look around in here. Lots of interesting stuff. This was Jake's private car, you know.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help.
Not a problem.
Wonder what Jake used this for. Wonder what Jake used this for.
I love how there's a clear pickaxe mark where the dust should be. When this train was found in 19...
Another gemstone.
When this train was found in 19...
Looks like an old-fashioned cigar box. Wonder why it's locked. And what does AG mean? Camille with Hager Anderson and Chantilly Hildegard. JH. For Jake Hurley, obviously. Must be Jake's insignia.
Wonder if this
Another gemstone.
Wonder if this is how they found the train.
There, all done.
There we go.
Eliza Sandberger. An old scale. Strange. It seems to be built into the wall. Wonder why it's got all those symbols on it like that. It's locked.
So I need owl or the smiling face and the cherry.
What's up?
What do you think of Tino Balducci?
I kind of feel sorry for the guy. After catching those bank robbers, he can't just be a good cop anymore. He's got to be a great cop. Tough to perform under that kind of pressure.
Is Lori a friend of yours?
First time I met her was when I boarded this train with all the rest of you. I knew her by reputation, of course, like everyone else who reads the tabloids. It doesn't appear that anyone aboard this train is her friend.
Maybe she planned it that way.
You mean so we'd concentrate all our efforts on finding Jake Hurley? Possible, although she really doesn't strike me as being the planning type.
I'll let you get back to work.
Come back anytime.
I kind of feel man went missing.
Looks like some kind of sewing sampler. I've seen some of those symbols before. I wonder if there's a relationship between those symbols and those numbers.
So 7. 17, I need. So just a little tidbit out there. Man went missing in 1903. I think by this point he's bones.
What have you got?
Do you think maybe one of Lori's other guests is in on her disappearance?
It's certainly possible.
From the way she talked, it didn't sound like she knew any of them.
Maybe that's what she wanted us to think.
Or maybe that's what one of them wanted her to think.
Well, whether Lori disappeared by force or by choice, what we've got to do now is find her.
Absolutely.
Talk to you later.
You know where to find us.
Hold on a minute. Here we go. Sorry, I was just checking the time for the recording. And my coverage just came down the steps, so. And she's going right back up the steps. Means I gotta talk. Braggadocious motherfucker. He is a bit of a braggadocious motherfucker.
What's going on?
I understand that you found something on the floor in the dining car.
Yeah, at first I thought it was an old coin, but it turned out to be some kind of slug.
Do you think it had anything to do with Lori's disappearance?
Nah, probably been lying there for 100 years. May have served a purpose back then, but now, worthless.
May I see it?
Sure, in fact, here, keep it. Wear it around your neck or something. That way, when people ask you where you got it, you can tell them Tino Balducci gave it to you. The Tino Balducci.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
What else can I do for you?
Hope I didn't take up too much of your time.
Don't mention it.
I won't.
That square and that duck look very familiar.
Holy shit, I love this place. Whatever.
Looks like to make this thing, whatever it is, I'm going to need a spyglass, a pickaxe, and a lamp. Citrine, amethyst, zircon, those are all gemstones, I think.
Do I have those blueprints? Yes, I have those blueprints now.
Silver. What do all those colors have to do with silver?
Silver is orange, blue, green, red, purple, yellow. At least get this shit opened up and...
According to that diagram I found, those 6 gemstones are supposed to go in these 6 holders, but I have no idea which one goes where. Looks like I need to enter 8 letters into this thing. The question is, which 8 letters? Lori?
Oh my gosh! I never thought you'd be the one to find me. No offense. Nadine?
Nancy. Nancy Drew.
Well, as you can see, I wasn't really spirited away by ghosts or anything. That bookshelf in the dining car, you step on this thing in the floor in there, and it slides open. I practiced disappearing for weeks.
So Charlena Purcell gets the $100. Okay.
Was anyone else in on the trick?
Just the engineer, and all he did was keep his mouth shut. See, here's the deal. My dad wound up with this train when he bought out Noram Shipping. They'd been storing it in this old warehouse outside St. Louis for so long that everybody had just forgotten about it. Anyway, after like mass begging on my part, Dad had the train restored to working condition and got me an engineer and track permits and all that other stuff until finally, here we are, on our way to find out what happened to Jake Hurley.
5.
Why do you need a train to find out what happened to him?
Well, see, I was one of the first people in like 100 years to set foot on this train, okay? Everything was just the way it was when Jake disappeared. Except, I also found this. It's a letter that Jake wrote in 1901 to his niece back east. He was real paranoid about claim jumpers, which is why he never told anyone where his mine was. But he was also afraid something would happen to him and no one would ever know where it was. So he wrote this letter to his only living relative, Ruth Kensington. Here, take it.
You want me to have it? Why?
Because you found me. See, in that letter, Jake tells Ruth that everything she needs to figure out where his mine is on this train. He also warns her that his wife's spirit is on the train too, which kind of creeps me out. But the thing is, to find Jake's lost mine, we need the train.
How do you know this Ruth person didn't find the mine decades ago?
Mostly because I found that letter in the wastebasket. It was like she'd gotten so ticked off, trying to follow her nutty uncle's clues, that she finally said to heck with the whole thing.
What about the other people you invited on this trip?
If you want to show them that letter, go ahead. It's totally up to you. We're going to Copper Gorge because that's where Jake buried Camille, so I figured his mine might be somewhere around there too. But if you think we need to go somewhere else, you just let me know and I'll have the engineer take us there.
Bye.
I'll be waiting.
Locked, naturally. I wonder how you open it. Wonder how you're supposed to get this open. I can use this to open that grate I saw in Camille's car. Looks like a dance floor, maybe?
No idea. I know somewhere it tells you where how you're supposed to step. I ain't gonna do shit. I don't know. Okay. So I only have enough to get a spare. I need the duck too. I need the duck to Camille's car.
That tool I saw in the caboose. I bet that's what you use to unscrew these bolts. More pipes to connect.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so that's... I think there's one left at the end of the baggage, or the end of the spin car. Then we're good. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave this episode off here. I think we've been going long enough.
Nancy, what's with the Cheshire Cat grin?
You found Lori.
Yep, she's holed up in the caboose, and as a reward for finding her, she let me have this. It's a letter from Jake to his niece in which he leaves clues telling her how to find his mine. Only the clues are extremely obtuse.
You found Lori, you got the letter with all the clues. Guess you don't need us anymore.
Oh, Joe, quit pouting. Want any help?
Are you kidding? You bet I do.
Now you're talking.
I found a diagram for some kind of contraption that Jake designed, but to operate it you need his pickaxe and some kind of lamp or lantern, which it looks like he gave to somebody named Buell.
Buell? Joe, show her.
Show her what?
That old picture we found.
Okay.
We found this on the bookshelf. See? Buell's Supplies and Pawn Shop. That's gotta be the same Buell Jake gave his axe and lantern to.
Yeah, 100 years ago. And the guy was a pawnbroker, Frank. The stuff's probably long gone.
Or maybe it's still somewhere in Copper Gorge.
Well, that's where we're headed, so let's just hope for the best.
Right.
Talk to you later.
You better.
So, wait a minute.
The 3rd of November, 1901, from somewhere in Colorado. Dear Ruth, I know that we've never met, but now that your father, my estranged brother, is gone, you are my only living relative. I am writing to you to tell you about my mine before I, too, depart this earth, and its location is lost forever. I cannot tell you outright where it is, lest this epistle fall into the wrong hands, but with the information which follows, and with my train, which shall be yours upon my death, I promise that you'll be able to find it. First, you will need a map. To obtain it, know that my travels have taken me all over this great country, to towns which can be difficult to find, to Calico, Silverado, and Central City, to Dodge City, Virginia City, and Tombstone. To locate the mine on the map, you'll need my projector. When it comes to placing the stones, you'll need to ask someone who holds a warm place in my heart. I have stored his name accordingly, but to retrieve his name, you'll have to give the dolls an order. This will require looking inside Camille's dancing shoes for the name of their maker, and wearing the shoes as you perform her favorite step on the dance floor. As for my beloved Camille, she has 4 words for you, words which, when translated into numbers and used in combination, will help power my projector. But alas, she's taken them with her to her grave. So go to Copper Gorge, Colorado, and pay your respects, and let some of her goodness rub off on you. I promised Camille that this train would always be her home. In return, she promised to never leave, and indeed she never has. People say I'm crazy, but I've seen her, and heard her, and feel her presence on the train even today, 20 years after her untimely death. So above all else, my dear niece, let nothing happen to my train. It holds wonderful things. Kindest regards, Jake Hurley.
Okay. So we've got to wait to Copper Gorge till we get to Copper Gorge before doing anything. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I shall catch you guys in the next video. Have a great, wonderful day. Bye bye.